aspire to be and stand on the platforms that you all have been able to stand on. What would the Tony Terry and go down the line of today tell someone that's looking to get into the industry right now? What advice would you give?
Oh, okay, that's good.
And put some thought into it, y'all.
No, really. Today, I would suggest that, as I would then when I started, if you're gonna be in the business of entertainment, you have to learn the business. I mean, so many of us are blinded by the light of the stage that we think that the goal is to get a record out. And then once we've done, as Q has said, once we've done that, that's just the beginning. That's really when the work starts. So I would strongly suggest that, you know, if this music business, you know, a taxi driver has to study to get a hack license. You can't just decide I'm gonna be a taxi driver. Well, now with Uber, you can. You know, just like sign, and you know, you trusted people and you signed, and then before you know it, you were signing publishing away. You were signing things that you didn't, and it's happened many, many, many times. So you have to know what you're doing. You have to know how to copyright your music. You have to know how to set up your publishing company. If you don't know that, then you're not ready. There's some groundwork stuff that you got to do for yourself before you jump in and start doing what you say you want to do.
Everybody has input on this one. I know you got something to say.
Well, I'll just say, I'll be simple. Hone your craft. If you think you're good, push yourself even more to be even better. Surround yourself with like-minded people as much as possible. And yeah, that's about all I gotta say.
I know I haven't said anything yet. My name is Charita Brittenum. I work for RCA Records. I've been in the business 25 years, and I've been with Sony Music for 21. And just to ditto what everybody else has said, you have to have a passion. And I'm not an artist. I am actually a director of urban radio promotion. So I'm the person that goes to radio to get the records played at radio. So I do pretty much the same thing Arlinda does. And the ironic thing is the very first record I worked in 1992 at Epic Records was With You by Tony Terry. So I thought that was a really ironic thing that we were both being honored tonight up here. But yeah, you have to have a passion for what you do, and you do have to lay the groundwork. You have to start from the bottom for sure, and just really, really, really hone your craft. You have to give it everything you have, without a doubt. I am working with a young lady right now who's in the audience. She's 16 years old, beautiful voice. Her name is Peyton Moore. You will be hearing from her, but you'll be hearing from her eventually. But you know what? I've said to her, be patient. You gotta be patient. This is gonna be a long ride. You're gonna have to learn everything there is to know about this business. So I'll just live your passion, be passionate about what you do. I am, and that I guess that's why I've been around for so long.
Yeah.
Because it's so important, I think everybody can start with what Tony said first, when he said, know the business. Because a lot of people say the music business, but it's really the business of music. And you really, really have to know the business. But in addition to that, I would say, be willing to stay true to who you are as an artist and do not conform. Just because everybody's doing it doesn't mean that you have to do it. And I think a lot of the reasons why sometimes music becomes stale and stagnant is because people are afraid to be different. And because if this has already worked, let's do that. But then you get lost in the sauce because there's already a speaker, so why would you now become another speaker? So again, I would just say, stay true to yourself, because at the end of the day, you have to live the music that you put out. And when there are no one else cheering you on and egging you on, can you go on this stage and still believe in what you did when everybody was telling you to do what everybody else was doing? So be true to yourself, don't conform, and just ride it out. And if that sells 1 million records doing you, great. If it sells 5 and those 5 people just rocking with you every time you go somewhere, that has more longevity than you trying to chase the million people.
Well, we've heard it said, I know even when Matthew was here, everyone, you talk about passion. It is very much what you need to make it happen, no matter what you do, no matter what your business is. If you're gonna be in this business, you gotta have a passion to really wanna be there. But I have the good fortune right now working with a young man who's actually out here in the audience with me. And his name is I Am D-Lo, or a lot of you all know him as D-Lo. Had a great song, or has a great song called Bet You Can't Do It Like Me, and he did that for about 80 million views on the internet. But the reason I bring him up, because as I met him, one of the things that was inspiring was his name and what D-Lo stands for, and it's D-L-O-W, and it's determined, loyal, optimistic, and willing to learn. And I think that as I look at that, that's really what this business and what young people need to think about, because that just really kind of wraps it up to me. To say, if you really believe in yourself and you want people to believe in you as you believe in yourself, be willing to learn, be optimistic, be determined, and most of all, be loyal.
I will just say that everything that has been said, I think that you have heard it. I hope that you have received it. I can't really go any further. I will say this. There's a little teeny tiny book entitled The Magic of Believing. The book was written in the 40s. The writer is Claude Bristol. And it just essentially says everything that you've already heard. And just to sort of piggyback on something that I said earlier about the word consciousness, whatever you are aware of, I hope you hear that, you will bring it into your life, your world, and in your affairs. So as you are creative beings in this place this evening, and you're obviously here at the right place at the right time with the right group of people, it means that you're already starting with your passion, yes? Yes. So keep going with the passion, continue with the magic of believing, and stay sincere in that pursuit.
Well, there's been a lot said, so I'm gonna make this one quick. I have a couple of things that I live by, and I'm gonna share that with you. One, and this is overall, be prepared. Everybody gets an opportunity. Not everybody knows what to do with it. Be prepared. I may not be the smartest, I may not be the cutest, but you will not outwork me. I will be prepared. Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, if y'all can do me a favor, I know y'all been saying this to you. Okay. And that's a great transition to where I'm going. I mean, you all have brands and you all have a platform to use. When you look at everything that's going on in the world right now, this is a historic year from the election. We see Black Lives Matter, political issues, social issues. How do we use music as a healing aid to help with everything that's going on right now? Michael, I'll start with you.
Well, first of all, I think it's all about the youth. It's all about the next generation. I think it's all about what's next. And if we, all of us, if we think about that, it's not about us necessarily. It's about those that come after us. And how can we give a helping hand? And how can we make a difference? And even in the political scene, I don't think it's about right now today as much as it is about today, but it's about what's going to happen next year and the year after that, and what's going to happen to the kids, and what's going to happen to those artists and everybody that wants to speak their voice. So for me, going back, kind of falling back to what we talked about, my passion, my drive, my whole thing has always been the next generation. At some point in my career, starting really early on, I too wanted to be an artist, but I recognized along the way that there was other artists and other people that really needed a helping hand. So for me, it was a matter of just taking my passion that I had to be an artist to really help shepherd other folks into what they want to do and help be there for them. So I think that when you look at what's going on in the world today, we gotta just think beyond. Last night I was in LA, and I had the good fortune of being at the Kanye West concert. And it was amazing to look out there and see what was happening with a hip hop artist. That now hip hop music, when in the 80s was just getting started, and it was really hard for people to understand what it was and wasn't getting any airplay. But to now be the new rock and roll, if you may, of the music business, and to realize these are young black kids from the streets, from the hood, from wherever, that's really rose to a position that now everybody is taking notice to. Everybody from a political front all the way down, all across the world is taking notice to. And for me, it's about putting back a lot into our communities, a lot into our youth, and a lot into our next generation in order for us to see a difference out here. We've got to give to that. So whoever the leaders are going to be, they need to be pushing that so that we, the kids coming after us, our families and all can survive from here.
Q, if you don't mind, if you can chime in on this, because you actually just got off the road from a tour, so you got a chance to really see the dynamic of that and use your musical platform.
Well, we all know that music is the universal language. No matter what is going on, music is always like a person's go-to. So being in this position, I think it is one of our responsibilities to make sure that the world is given places to go musically. Music controls the moods sometimes. When you're in a certain mood, you want to listen to a certain type of record. So with all that is going on, we can use our voice literally to make a difference. And you know, when we're talking about the society and the things that are going on, I am one of those who believe, like, you know what, let's band together because there's strength in numbers, and let's all stand for something and make a song or make some music that is standing for something. So, you know, one of the things that I like to do is I like to challenge other artists to, you know, not only join me, but just band together so that we can stand together and let's do something musically that will be in addition to our voice speaking certain things in our stance. So definitely music breaks barriers, it breaks boundaries.